Hello and welcome to Six Monkey Martial Arts. My name is Sifu Barber, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about Kung Fu Lineage, what it is, why it's important, some truth about it, and then watch all the way to the end because we're going to expose a fake master. Not something I typically do, but we'll get to that at the end. So, what is Kung Fu Lineage? In a nutshell, it is a family tree of sorts, showing who created the system, who they taught, who all the way down to you, right, and who you learned from. So, like in my system, Tai Xing, the creator of the system, Sijo Kaozu, right, he's Grandmaster Kaozu. He created the system Tai Xing. Then you have Ken Tak Hoi, who combined Tai Xing and Pequar to make Tai Xing Pequar. Then under him, you have a bunch of students, including like the famous Chan Sao Chung, my Si Gung, which would be Chao Sing Feng, my Sifu, right? Chao Sing Feng taught my Sifu Ah Sang, who taught me, right? So that's our lineage. That's our family tree. Everyone that learned Tai Xing from the original creator all the way down. So it's a family tree that just shows that you're authentic, right? You learned from who you say you learned from, and it dates back to the original creator of the style. A lot of martial arts have this: karate, kung fu, even Brazilian jiu-jitsu, going back to the Gracies. So it's an important thing to have. Now, let me go into the next step because this is probably something a lot of people don't understand. It makes you authentic. Yes, 100%, right? Like, I'm very proud of my lineage. My Sifu was my godfather on top of my teacher. Sifu in itself means Si meaning father, and Si meaning teacher, Fu meaning father. So it's a really important person in your life, right? This is someone that you can go to always, that you can talk to. It's a really, it's a family, right? Like there's no other better way to explain it than saying that this is a family. So your lineage is your family. Now, what's important to know about lineage is just because you're a part of a lineage doesn't make you a master, right? And that's something a lot of people don't understand. I have a very good, and I'm going to give you an example here. I have a very good friend of mine in South Florida. He is amazing at Wing Chun. He is self-taught. He didn't learn from anybody. He didn't have a family tree. He learned from watching videos on the internet from different branches of Wing Chun, and he just kind of put it all together, and he's an amazing Wing Chun artist. I have another friend who is a Wing Chun practitioner. He's a Sifu. He has his own classes. He teaches. He's not that good at the practical side of it. He's really good with the forms. He knows the history, the tradition, all that is great, but he doesn't have that practical aspect, right? And that's something a lot of people don't understand. You can have lineage, doesn't mean you're good at it. Like Chan Sao Chung, he was an amazing at the art, from the forms to the Pequar forms to the Tai Xing forms. Like everything about him was really good. My Sifu, again, really, really good. He could do the fighting. He could do the art side of it, the traditions, all those different things, learning the 6 monkeys of Tai Xing. So that's really, really important to know. Same thing with me. I practice daily. I do my drills. I do sparring. I do weapons. I do the iron rings. I do conditioning, hand, body, shin, all that cool stuff. So basically what I'm getting to the point is, just because you have lineage doesn't mean that you're a fighter or practical. Okay, and that's going to be really important for this later on part. So why we went over what it is, what Kung Fu lineage is, and why it's important. Now, the way that you look at lineage is kind of confusing, right? And what I mean by that is anyone can put up a family tree. Anyone can say, "Oh, I learned from this guy." Like this is, we're talking arts. I mean, thankfully Tai Xing's only 100 years old, 100 plus years old. But you have arts like Shaolin arts that go back thousands and thousands of years. Same thing with like karate. So hundreds and thousands of years. Anyone can put up a family tree, and for the most part, like, nobody knows. But there's certain like things that you can check. So that's where we're gonna get into this next part here. So like I have a scroll from my Sifu that says Master of Tai Xing. I have a certificate from him. I have pictures, right, that you can't just find anywhere. So it's really important. That's how do you kind of authenticate it. The other way you can authenticate it is by either meeting their master or kind of having that documentation, right? Like I have pictures of my Sifu, I have pictures of Kintak Hoi, right? Stuff that you can't necessarily find. That's my family tree. So what I'm getting at here is there's a lot to Kung Fu lineage, right? And what we're really trying to put out here is that we want you to be practical, right? Like, in my opinion, my my Sifu was really good at fighting. He was really good at the form side of it. But if anything I cared, I didn't know who my Sifu was. I didn't even know what Taishing was when I first started. I was a very skinny 18-year-old kid that would train, doing pull-ups and push-ups, and because he said to do it. And I just heard that he was a really good Kung Fu master, so I trained with him. The lineage didn't have any aspect in the beginning to my training. I didn't even know, like I said, I didn't even know what Taishing was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. I know I did some karate and some taekwondo and some boxing when I was younger. I met him. I wanted to train with him. I heard he was good. That was it. So when you're looking for like a Kung Fu school or any type of martial arts school, look for the lineage. Look and see if they have it. If they have it, it's a bonus. But the main thing you should be looking for is, are they practical? Are they teaching you, okay, someone throws a punch out and then you do 100 moves while their arm is hanging out there? Well, that's not practical. That's not realistic, right? Because no one throws a punch and leaves it out there for you to do your move, right? It's in and out, right? That's fighting. I have fought before. I've had unsanctioned fights. That's how you test your skills, right? And either competition, sanda, in the ring, in the cage, whatever. There's a lot of different ways that you test it and see if it works, right? If you go to a school and you see that they're doing 100 techniques, or they're trying to catch someone by the fist and turn it and throw them around, or move 2 inches and send someone 30 feet backwards, that's bullshito. That's bullshit, right? Excuse my language, but it's not true, right? So what's important is that you're learning something practical and that you can use in a real life situation. That's not something that you find just anywhere. There's a lot of, I don't want to say fake martial arts schools, but there's a lot of martial arts schools that don't train the practical side of things. They don't train sparring. They don't train partner drills. They don't train reactivity, timing, distance control, all the things that we teach here at Six Monkey Martial Arts that are really important for you to grow as a martial artist, but also as a person, right? You learn a lot. Like getting hit in the head, it sucks, right? But you learn a lot from it. You learn, okay, man, I got to keep my guard up. Oh, I got to keep my chin down. I got to keep my eyes focused on, his body, not eye-to-eye contact. There's a lot of things that you can learn throughout it. So I'm gonna put it up here on the screen somewhere. I'm gonna put something that one of my students brought up to me, and I'm kind of laughing here, and I'm sorry. It's not something I normally do, but we had someone go to our website, take a blurry screenshot of our lineage chart, and then Mr. Matsuda here said, I posted our family tree earlier because I saw this posted on the internet. This is someone else's version of Taishing Pekwa family tree, but it is false. It says Cho Chat Ling was his teacher's instructor, which is false. Cho Chat Ling taught only one person, and it wasn't him. How do I know? Because I was there. Just beware of false claims. And then his other post went on to talking about how we don't train and all this other nonsense. I'm also going to post up our tree so you can read at the bottom. So let me explain this family tree. Again, right? My lineage, Sijo Kaozu, Ken Takoi, Chao Sing Feng, Ah Sang, Sifu Barber. That is my lineage. However, I also put on there that someone that my Sifu trained with, who was Cho Chat Ling. It was in Singapore and in Hong Kong, right? Especially for the 1971 Southeast Asian tournament, which was hosted in Singapore, for those of you who don't know. But very clearly at the bottom of this picture, it says who our lineage is from and also who my Sifu trained with. I'm not claiming any type of lineage, but for someone to go out there and try to attack our school and say that, put up a blurry image to hide the truth, and then say that we're not correct and we're false and we don't have, it's watered down and fake and blah, 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 is very disrespectful. And again, this is why I don't normally do these type of things. Because I don't really care if someone believes on our school. Like, I know I'm practical. You want to come spar with me? I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Message us. We'll set something up, right? That's the type of person I am, right? That's how I was taught. And the reason why I never put a lot of pictures on our website of lineage and stuff like that is because people steal it. People like this steal stuff, and they claim that they're a master, right? So now I'm going to give you some things to beware of. You know what to look for lineage and for practicality wise. Now I'm going to give you some things to beware of when you're looking for a Kung Fu school or any martial arts school. Number one, someone calls himself a Grand Master. This is BS, right? You are not a Grand Master until the day you die, right? Because until you die, you should be training, refining your art, getting better. And some people are going to disagree with this. That's fine. But the truth is, until you die, you can mentally, physically, spiritually be improving your own martial arts skills. and you need to continue to do so, right? It's why we got into this, right? It's a journey. It's not, oh, I made master, cool. Yep, I'm a grandmaster. I'm going to teach some students. I'm going to make some DVDs or whatever. That's nonsense, right? You're not an actual grandmaster until the day you die, because you should still be improving yourself, training every single day like I do. Yeah, okay, I mastered this when I was 21. I was granted the rank of Sifu at age of 21. One of the youngest people to ever do it. Doesn't mean I'm going to stop training. My skills from 21, now I'm 30 now, have improved greatly because I keep training, because I don't stop. I'm not going to stop. And even if I'm sick, I still go out there and train. I don't feel good. I have an injured elbow, injured shoulder, whatever. I go out there and train. I lift weights. I do my running. I hit the bag. I do sparring. I do reactivity drills. I do conditioning. Like, all those things, that's what we try to put onto our students. Never give up. Never stop, right? Just because you hit to that level where you wanted to reach doesn't mean that you need to stop. Okay, but I hit it there. Then why were you training in the first place? What was your goal for that? So, someone calls himself a grandmaster. Fake. Lacking pictures of them and their Sifu or their master, right? So this person that posted saying that we're fake has a letter, and it's a public letter, so YouTube, don't take me down for this. And I'll put it up here on the screen. I'm going to read it for you guys here. So Mr. Matsuda's teacher was a man named Paulie Zink. So the letter reads, public announcement from Paulie Zink. Again, it's a public document. Firstly, I would like to express my gratitude to Inside Kung Fu Magazine for graciously granting me the use of their public forum. I would like to set forth the following clarifications in response to statements that have been made on the website monkeykungfu.com. It doesn't exist anymore. He changed it to museum or whatever. We'll get to that in a second. Which were recently brought to my attention. Number one, to my knowledge, Grandmaster Chan Sao Chung and my teacher, Master Cho Chat Ling, are the only two senior leading authorities on the art of monkey kung fu. And that says, to his knowledge, my Sifu was Chao Sing Feng, but that's for another day. Number two, I never gave Michael Matsuda my permission to offer certification monkey Taishing Pekwar Kung Fu. Number three, I never taught the entire system of monkey and Pekwar Kung Fu to Michael Matsuda. I have never taught the entire system of any art transmitted to me by my master to any student. I have never appointed any student as complete successor to me. However, I do have students whom I have taught more Kung Fu forms than I taught to Michael Matsuda. In my opinion, these students are exceedingly more skillful at Kung Fu than Matsuda is. I have several students who have my approval for many years to teach monkey Pekwar Kung Fu, including Jim Muse Furtado. I don't even know who that is. I honestly don't care. The following students are the only students approved by me to teach monkey Pekwar Kung Fu, including, and he goes off to list this, signed by him, 11/28/07, Paulie Zink, and then State of Montana seal on here, notarized. Then there's a second page of this, and again, I'm going to put it up here on the screen just so you guys don't think I'm coming up with stuff here. And it says, furthermore, I'm currently teaching the 5 monkey kung fu forms, which is the 5-day monkeys. Tall, lost, stone, wood, drunken monkeys to several students. I also plan to teach monkey kung fu workshops, blah, blah, blah. Open to the public, right? And then the very last part of this is Michael Matsuda has no right or permission to speak on my behalf. I have dissolved any of my affiliation with the U.S. Taishing Pekwar Association. I have dissolved my personal friendship with Michael Matsuda. I have expelled Michael Matsuda as my student, again, with a signature, seal, all that stuff. This is not something I typically do. This is not something I like to put out here. I normally don't care if someone is a fake master. I don't pay any attention to it unless they, again, like this guy tries to come out and call us fake. And something else you can look out for, someone's going around talking about other schools, how they don't do this or they're fake on this. They don't have enough knowledge themselves to explain the art. And I've had this letter for a long time. I've had this for a very long time. I had it. I didn't really think to do anything with it because I don't care, right? And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, right? This is just being truthful. I've had my students come to me, ask me about this person. I say, I don't know. You know, this is what we teach. This is authentic. This is real. This is the 6 monkeys. No one even taught the night monkey other than, as far as I know, my Sifu and Chan Sao Chung. Because it's a closed door art form, right? It's one of the last things you learn, and that's another part of Lineage, right, that you need to look out for. when you get to a certain level, there's techniques that your sifu will pull you aside and teach you that aren't part of the mainstream curriculum. This is what we call handing, like, because it's all pretty much written and handed down with, small certificates and things like that, scrolls like I have that say like, hey, this guy trained from me, and these are like the extra techniques, right? The hidden, the closed door stuff. It's not magic. It's not, press a point and someone passes out. That stuff doesn't exist. But there are several things like Night Monkey that we teach here, and we've actually made it a little bit more mainstream. We just save it towards the end. But there's even more techniques after that we teach. So, this is, again, and I can't make this clear enough, this isn't something I typically do. It's not something I normally care about, but if someone's going to go out and attack my school and insult my sifu and my family, then you can believe that I'm going to do the monkey thing. I'm going to stand up for us. So, all that being said, I used to respect this man. He does a lot with the Martial Arts Museum. A lot of respect for that. All that respect has gone downhill because of this. He put up a blurry image of something he took from our website and then called it not correct, but you can't read the actual print on there that talks about what it actually is. So very, very disappointing, very stupid. I don't like to get into these kind of things. If you want to come out and spar, hit me up. We'll record it live and we'll talk about, the true side of Taisheng and Monkey Kung Fu. I'm more than happy to do that. So guys, at the end of the day, just train, right? Like find something. And people, that's why MMA exists now. Like people kind of like everything just got watered down. And if you want to find one true art, like we're a complete art form. We do meditation, conditioning, forms, drills, techniques. There's a lot to it. Sweeps, throws, takedown defense, a little bit of grappling, some pressure point stuff, staff, iron rings, iron shirt conditioning, hand conditioning. There's a lot of things that Taisheng teaches, which is why I studied it, and I've used it in actual situations, right? So when it comes down to training, if you're looking for a place to train, Six Monkey Martial Arts is a great place. But anywhere, as long as you're doing something, right, and you know that this is going to be practical, you're 10 steps ahead of where you were, right? If you're going to get these watered down DVDs and learn from someone that was disowned by their teacher, which, by the way, I've only kicked out one student in my entire time of teaching. It's a hard thing to do, right? Like, it's not something that, like, oh, this guy, came in in a bad mood. You have to do something very bad to be kicked out of from your teacher's school and to be disowned by them. And especially, like I said, it's Si meaning teacher and Fu meaning father. It's a father figure to you. So you'd have to do something incredibly bad. I don't know what happened, nor do I really care, to be honest. But something serious had happened, right? I don't know if it was him going out and making his own certifications and calling himself authentic, whatever the case may be. I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't like to see anyone have to go through that. But at the end of the day, like, be honest about it, be truthful, and you'll get a lot more respect for what you do. All right, guys, that's kind of it for today. I know today was kind of a long video. All of the information here. I'll put links to these pictures and stuff. We'll put them up on our Facebook group. If you follow us there, the other team handles that. I don't deal with any of the social media stuff, but I'll make sure that they put it up for you guys. But that's it, guys. Train safely, train wisely, and we'll see you next weekend.